Hi everybody, Cliff Barron from Remax here with my weekly update for Milton and Georgetown / Glen Williams areas. And let's see, before I get to that, I always come up with a little pointer. And today I'm going to talk about closing. What happens with the keys? I've had quite a few people ask me about that recently because when you watch TV on HTTV and the buyers buy their new house and they're all, the agent shows up with their keys and they're like, hey, here you go, welcome to your new home. So it doesn't happen that way in Canada. It never has, well, in Ontario anyways, never really has. The keys are exchanged at the lawyer's office, but right now with COVID, you don't go see the lawyer anymore. When you sign your documents, you actually sign them electronically through something called DocuSign, which is actually a very, very secure method of completing a legal transaction. You sign everything through DocuSign, and then when the time comes to pick up your keys, you don't actually physically go to the lawyer anymore. The lawyer releases the lockbox code to you, just like when you when you see the house with your agent. The agent opens the lockbox, and then the keys opens the front door and goes in. So what'll happen is the lawyer will release the code for the lockbox to you. You'll probably have one key in the lockbox. You'll take that key out, you go into the house, and then in the kitchen, if the sellers are nice, they'll leave a nice note for you saying where the mailbox number is, where the key is, and the garage door open remote, and the remotes will be left there. Everything will be left in the kitchen for you. So these days on closing, the keys are in the lockbox 99.9% of the time. I haven't seen keys exchanged through a lawyer since COVID started. So that's what's going to happen. Your keys will be in the lockbox. And here's a hint too. When you take the keys out of the lockbox, leave the lockbox on the door. Close it up, leave it on the door. There's no keys in it, so just leave it on the door. And the selling agent will come by and pick up the box. You don't have to do anything else. That's it. Because I've had it recently where boxes have just gone missing. And it's just frustrating tracking them down. So just leave it on the door. The agent will come by and pick it up. Anyways, okay, the update for Milton and Georgetown, Glen Williams. This is January 24th to the 30th, 2021. I'm going to start doing these weekly again because I've had some people asking me saying, where are you? I started doing them bi-weekly, and I guess people like these things. So anyways, and I'm going to do it differently though. I'm not going to talk about the volume of sales and the days on the market because the days on the market, everything's flying out the door right now. So they're kind of irrelevant. You got to be. I'm just going to give you a ballpark idea of what the average sale is. Let's see. In detached, I'm going to go detached 2-story. In Milton, 1.123. Bungalow, which are usually the old parts of Milton. Sometimes it's the new, but usually the older part of Milton. The average was 981. There was, I think, one sale. Townhouses average 897, which is crazy. And semi, there was only one. I think one or two sold in Milton for $1 million on average. And then condo apartments, 550 on average, 2 sales, and condo towns, 662 on average with 2 sales. So things are still going crazy. I'm going to do the video next week is what to expect when you actually list your house. So that's one thing, maybe if you want to stay tuned for that next week. And then we go to Georgetown and Glen Williams. In the 2-story detached, there was the average was 1.094. A bungalow in the older part of Milton sold for 1.09, not Milton, Georgetown, sorry. Sold for the 1.09 million. But just to let you know, that was a different lot. It had actually 2 residents on it, so 2 homes on it. So that's why it sold a bit higher and that's the older part of Georgetown. Huge lot, so that was one thing to think about over by the train station. And then let's see, we got one sale of a townhouse of 775 on average. One semi sold on Mowat. It was a big one, sold for 990, but it was a big semi. It wasn't a smaller one. There are some older semi bungalows in Georgetown, which is unusual. You don't see them that often in any other towns. You don't see them in Milton at all. And there was no sales of condo towns or condos the past week in Georgetown, Glen Williams. So that's a bit of an update for you, and hopefully that helps you out. Any questions, let me know. DM, PM, EM transfer if you want. But anyways, or email or a phone call works. I'll be sure to help you out. And thanks again, Cliff Barron from Remax, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.